beyond.
It is. What's up? We're beyond. That's true. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Who do we got here? Say hello in the chat because I like to know who you are so then I can stalk you later. Maybe. Where are you?
It's almost Halloween.
Vancouver,
we shouldn't be talking about stalking. We shouldn't be talking about stalking.
Right. Let me just type in my hello to everybody to encourage them. What's up with the white walls? You're doing white walls? I like it. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, this is this cool new thing. So shout out to a local company here in Vancouver, British Columbia. They make these things called Molo walls, M-O-L-O design, molodesign.com. And it's, remember those old wedding bell decorations that you'd open up like this? And it was like,
totally.
so it's a whole wall.
Why do we all know that?
It's a whole wall that does that. So
that's so cool.
Yeah, so now you can't be like looking at the books on my bookcase. You have to actually pay attention to me, and so it's a.
Can you send me that link? I need it for my husband's guitars, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be super helpful. Hey, what's up, Peter? We got Katie in there. Awesome. You're looking buff. Also, you got the guns out. I got my guns out.
Yeah.
Because I just turned the heat up to 72.
This is my COVID project.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Hey, Leslie. Hey, Augustine. How's it going? It's so nice to see you as well. Boy, I mean, this week is going by so quickly for me. How about you, David?
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy.
Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. If you guys are just joining us, pop in the chat. You know me. I like to know where you are. What's the weather, everybody? What's happening? Are you freezing your tootsies off? Or
do we have any other Canadians? I always like to see some Canadians online. So hopefully there's a couple Canadians.
Oh, yeah.
I know Katie's there, so that's cool.
Katie's there. Canadians, like you're always like the sanity check. You know, what was that? Some comedian was like, they went down a list of people and they're like, you know, he's Canadian, or you know, she's Canadian. It's all these people that like Mike Myers or whatever that, you know, maybe you'd be surprised to know. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, no wonder they're so nice. They've got all the good people. Iris, how's it going?
Jim Carrey's Canadian. That always surprises people.
Jim Carrey, right? Yeah. So Chris is an honorary Canadian here. Chris Auer, yes. What's up? Awesome. See, some people did that to me just because I grew up in Vermont, which was nice, and near Montreal. So, but then Montreal is kind of like the black sheep of Canada a little bit, right? Like some people are like,
it's a little different over there. Yeah. It's like our Europe, our own little Europe. It's our own little Europe.
Hey, Lisa. Right. Exactly. Your own little Europe. All right. So we're going to get started because this is only 10 minutes. And if you don't know me, I'm Kaylee from Lately. I'm the CEO, and this is my crappy office. It's full of stuff I need to return, which is now such a bitch. Anyone else like return hell? It's just really annoying right now because you can't go to the store. And I don't want to go to the post office. It's very complicated. This is our very good friend, David Allison, the owner of Value Graphics, the Value Graphics database. And we are doing this fun thing we do once a month called How to Position Anything, right?
Absolutely.
Because how many facts are there? 54?
There's only 56 things that people chase in their lives, 56 values that people are running after all day long. So if you know which ones are going to work for your audience, you just connect the dots between that and what you want to talk to them about, and they're going to chase you all over the place.
All right, so this is pretty amazing. There's 56 things. We reveal one each week. If you've missed any, they're on our YouTube or at our website. You can find more. And David is an expert. In fact, he's changing the way people think about how to pitch customers and market and sell to them. And so I just want to give you guys a little bit of background here, and David can fill in. But the old way, demographics; the new way, value graphics. And if you need some social proof, I mean, he's been hired by a lot of amazing people, including the United Nations, right? World entity is taking or acknowledging this new, not even a trend, it's just like the new order.
It's a whole new way of thinking about each other, really. I mean, that's the simplest way to put it, right? We need to think about each other in a different way. If we're going to target a message at a group of people and all you know about them is they're millennials and they're women, like, what do you do with that? Like, where do you take that? You just start making up stuff about what millennial women are all about. It's all nonsense. But if you know that everybody that you're trying to talk to is really all about environmentalism, or they're really all about their family, or about trust, or about the secret weapon we're going to unveil today, then you can actually know what to say. You know how to get their attention. Okay, so do you guys get it? So value graphics, hello, goodbye, demographics. You want to group people by what they care about. It's that simple. And we're going to talk about one specific
word that groups a certain number of these people, right, David?
Yeah. Yeah, and I've got a little surprise for you that you're not even expecting. So I hope you bob and weave well.
Okay, so let's start out by first, because we only have 10 minutes or 5 left, but we might go a little over because it's you and we love you. What is the value of the day?
It's personal responsibility, which is a value that people who have personal responsibility as a value, they're the ones who like to get stuff done. They're the ones who, we all know them at work. They're the ones who keep putting up their hands saying, I got it, that one's mine, I got it, it's already taken care of, don't need to talk about it anymore. And in their personal lives, they don't sit on the couch and go, you know what someone should do? They get up off the couch and they go do that thing. It's people who make all the decisions in their day, big and small, based on how it's contributing to their ability to get stuff done and get that momentum, that forward movement that makes them feel like they're aligned with their universe.
That's Lauren, who's here today, by the way, my Lauren.
Yeah, we all need a few of those people in our lives because Lord knows it's not me.
That's awesome. So, okay, so personal responsibility. This is the dial we want to be able to twist of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so let's talk about.
Here's the twist I want to throw at you. I want to talk about the election.
Okay.
Because normally what we do is we talk about our product. We talk about how we can use these values to get people to do what we'd like them to do, and it's around getting them to buy something. But right now, as your best fan and your biggest friend up here in Canada, I'm speaking to all of you in the United States right now. We need to activate everybody to get out and vote. I don't care what side of the fence you're sitting on. I want you to get out and vote. So the people you need to be talking to, if you agree with me and you'd like to see everybody get out and vote, you need to talk to them about personal responsibility. You need to take responsibility for your own actions. You need to take responsibility for the outcome of this election. You need to get up off the couch and go out there and talk to people about things. Now, here's the thing I want to say. All the messages I've been hearing about get out the vote have been that. They've been about personal responsibility, but here's what my database has to say. Only 42% of Americans have personal responsibility as a value. The number one value in the United States is belonging. People want to belong. Wow. So I think the key to getting everybody out to vote is to not talk to them about how it's your responsibility. It's not a personal response. This is about belonging. You get to be part of this amazing country called the United States of America. It's got its flaws, it's got its pimples, but it's a great, great country and it's done great, great things. And to belong to this country, one of the personal responsibilities you have to take on in order to belong is you need to get out and vote. Once every 4 years, you got to go do this thing. So here I am in Canada on the sidelines cheering you on and say, please go do that. Go do that. More people need to have their voice heard this time around than were last time around.
I just got goosebumps, guys, because this is so amazing. What I thought of as a reason to go vote, we all thought it was personal responsibility. Ugh, can't speak. But then when you take what David has learned from the Value Graphics database and you apply it to this audience, belonging, right? It makes sense why so many people have not one flag, but 50 flags of their candidate, right? That makes sense, this sense of belonging. So we're talking about how to speak to your audience in a way that they'll hear in the value that they hold closest to their heart, right?
Well, and
amazing.
If you go back historically and you think about the United States and how you guys all started, you all ran away from Europe because they wouldn't let you belong to the churches and the groups that you wanted to belong to. Those are the first folks who came over. And ever since then, the Americas, the United States of America has been about, we are the USA, we are America. And so there's this enormous sense of belonging. I think it's why there's such fractured lives right now around which side of the fence you're landing on, because you want to belong to this one or belong to that one. It's the most important thing in your lives. But here I am saying to you, you belong to the United States of America. Get out there and do what you need to do to keep that belongingness alive, to be part of the family. Get out there and vote. Please do that.
So I just watched the Miracle on Ice again, that great movie about the USA hockey team, right, who beat the Russians back in the day. And there's that amazing scene when the coach is making them skate till they puke. They're just doing, like, we call them suicides, right? So back and forth after the game they lost, because like during the game, the guys were like checking out the girls in the stands and yada, yada. And so finally, one of the guys looks up and says his name, and he says, where do you play for? Who do you play for? What team do you play for? And all of these guys came from teams all over the United States, right? So all season long, when people ask them, what team do they play for? They say Colorado, Massachusetts, etc., right? And in this one moment, the player looks up and he says, I play for the United States. And then that was this turning point, right? Where the team understood that the coach was trying to change their feeling of the game and how they play together.
And belonging. Belonging to that
personal belonging.
And representing your country. Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. And, as you're saying this, David, like, I don't know what proud to be American kind of means, right? Like, because we're so used to being divided. Proud to be, East Coast, West Coast, Middle Coast, or whatever, like, and that's where it all is.
We do this all day long. We divide each other up into demographic groups. There's young people and there's old people. There's boomers, there's millennials, there's rich people, there's poor people, there's black people, there's white people. Divide, 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 divide. And what Value Graphics has proven now with 500,000 surveys around the world is that we have through lines that cut across all that bullshit. All those different categories, those through lines of values. Belonging is important to 89% of the people in the United States of America, regardless of how old or rich or fat or poor or tall or skinny or blonde or redhead. None of that shit matters. What matters is this sense of belonging. So now is the time to activate that through line. There's 56 of them, but that's the one that I think you all need to call on right now. You all need to listen to me. I'm yawling like I'm from the South. I'm getting ready for my trip to Texas next week. I'm going to be in Texas.
You want to belong.
But that through line will get you through this. You all want to belong more than anything in your life. So now's the time to call that up and use it and get out there and vote.
All right, I love this. So we're going to split. So there's two takeaways here. Is one, like, vote, but two, I always like the metaphor is important. Like, how can you translate this in the rest of your marketing and sales avenue? And this phrase that you use, the through line, I love that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true. I mean, everything we found, every one of these 56 values that drive every human behavior and feeling and emotion and decision, they all cut across demographic categories. No one gets to own trust. No one gets to own ambition. No one gets to own environmentalism. These are the things we all care about that we use to make all of our decisions. So speak to those things, speak to personal responsibility, speak to belongingness, speak to family. And you're going to have everybody going, huh? Okay, that's what I've been listening for. Let's go do that thing.
Listen to what he just said, what people are listening for, right? So David is doing a great job of helping us reposition even just the perception of, what people are, how they're perceiving us, right? That's so much different as opposed to like what they'll buy, right?
Yeah.
What they're listening for.
And so let me finish because I know we're over time, but I want to finish with one quick little tip. So anybody who's trying to understand how to find the through lines of the 56 that are going to work best for your product or service or brand, the simplest way in the world to do it is to just ask people. What we do when we send out surveys is we say, how old are you? How much money do you have? Are you married? And then we ask another bunch of questions. Do you like my product? How much do you like my product? Will you buy my product again? How many of my product do you have? But we forget to say to people, and what do you care about? What's on your mind? What drives your life? If we just ask those questions of our customers, we'll start to see those patterns. That's what we've done with 500,000 surveys around the world so we can target groups like this. But you can do it just by asking the right questions. It's that simple. Find the through lines.
So easy. Find the through lines, personal responsibility. What's that trigger? I know what it is in my team. So thank you, David. This is David Allison from the Value Graphics database. What's your website, David, if they want to learn more?
Valuegraphics.com, or find me on LinkedIn. I hang around there lurking in corners.
And he's super nice and funny, obviously, and very well dressed. So great, guys. We'll see you soon next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, same bat time, doing something different. I don't know what, but it'll be cool and fun, I promise. So love you all.
Bye.